Previously on Unbalanced Encounters. Honestly, Juniper, this is a very important lesson that you will learn. Your mother, from all accounts, was very good at it. It's called picking your battles.
I try to pick them all out so I don't miss one.
Between all sentient beings, there flows a certain type of magic. It is ineffable, but for talking purposes, we like to call it bond.
I wanted to make sure everyone is all good to go on the soon-to-be journey we're about to take within the Western Wealds. You two seem to be the ones to lead this, in my honest opinion.
I want you to know, Isaac, that Empress Saw be damned. No one will be taking this home from me.
That was kind of the point, me and Dale.
My name is the Lorax. I speak for the trees.
Can you tell me which of the Elder Gods is the most approachable in its current state?
Then it's probably Demoiselle. And they're not really saying that Demoiselle is the easiest one to be able to have the conversation with, right? It's more, you might be able to get to her through her husband. Minehead boys. They weren't anywhere near the trail. Last time they saw them, they were by some kind of swampy thing. But that they ain't seen them since. One and all, and welcome to another episode of Unbalanced Encounters, the show that dares to ask, what if Princess Mononoke had a 100-hour director's cut? I'm your host, Patrick Perini. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'd watch the heck out of that, dude.
We rejoin our game a calendar month since we last played, and so I would forgive each and every one of you, including our dear listeners, if you had forgotten where we had left off, which was in the Western Wealds. There are some things afoot. Very notably, the Minehead boys have gone missing, and really kind of Guard has been tasked personally with finding them by Big Paul, but I think everyone is pretty concerned about their disappearance. And in the process of going out into the woods to gather information about one of the enraged elder gods, apparently the crane, you all found sort of the remnants of some kind of happening, an attack maybe, on the Agravar raiders that left one of their encampments kind of in a shambles, largely destroyed and certainly kind of disheveled, with very notably one of the warden's shields left behind.
Oh, yeah.
When asked about it, the forest spirits, the geckos of the forest, were able to tell you that there was indeed a man who was led away by the guide, one of the elder gods that appears as a large bird. And so it does seem that you are sort of hot on the trail as you follow the map that you have had made ever deeper into the Western Wealds on your way toward a swamp on the far southwest edge. As you creep further and further into the Western Wealds, there are no wolverines, there are no elephant pythons. There is, frankly, a concerning dearth of life in your path. And so the way that I wanted to do this was that I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a group montage build. I just kind of want to get a little bit of a flavor of what this kind of story looks like. So if you guys are all excited about that, we can go ahead and do that.
Let's do it.
Oh.
Emily, at some point on this journey, the four of you were faced with a challenge. What was that challenge?
Getting up a waterfall.
All right. Emily, if you would be so kind as to roll a d6 for me.
Now, Harissa, this is the only way we can get up there. Where there's none other.
The only way is up, Isaac.
Oh, don't. I feel like going through water.
Oh, I got 4.
All right. June,
Oi.
you are especially helpful in getting everyone up this waterfall. What does June do to facilitate everyone's successful traversal of this cliff?
All right, y'all. I got this.
Swim.
Do you know what? Okay, so it's a waterfall, right? There's like rocks and stuff on either side.
Sure.
And like, is there like trees and things?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the Western Wealds, right? Like, this is densely wooded, all manner of deciduous and evergreen trees.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to instruct everybody to like, we're not going to cut down any of the branches or anything. We're going to try to find some on the ground, and all right, everybody get your long pointed sticks, and we're going to jam them into the rocks behind the waterfall, and we're going to climb up it. And if it doesn't work, then it'll work. It'll be fine. We all have 50 feet of rope, right?
Yeah.
That's plan B.
Yeah, Benny just gave me a whole stack of. I think there's a label that said Adventures Pack or something like that. It was weird.
Can I please get a group athletics check from everyone?
I got a whole 11.
18.
19.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
There you go.
All right. Absolutely no problem.
When June told Isaac, "Yeah, you're gonna use these sticks," and he looked at his stick, and he just, when she wasn't looking, he just switched to his axes and just used the ends of the axes.
Yeah. And we see a procession of June way out in front and Guard just behind her, kind of blundering along on these branches as he stabs his way up the cliff, followed by Harissa, whose twig snaps.
Oh, shit.
And she goes falling. And Isaac, who has no time to suffer any aesthetic bullshit, lets go of one of his axes, grabs Harissa by the arm, pulls her up against the wall, and holds on as she climbs back up to her post.
Thank you.
And the four of you make it up the waterfall. Harissa, that evening, it is your night for a campfire story. Would you like to tell one?
All right. I have another fairy tale for you all. Once upon a time, in a forest very much like this one, a long way away, there was this little girl who was very annoying. She didn't listen to her mother at all. She would go out, she would pick the wild berries, pick the mushrooms. You know the mushrooms I'm talking about. Yeah. And all the while, her mother would say, "Stick to the path, child." And the girl would say, yeah, whatever, it's fine. If I stick to the path, I don't find the good mushrooms, you know what I mean? Her mother said, "Well, something else will find you if you do not stick to the path." And she says, fine, whatever. Off she go. And then, one day, one of those big python, the watermelon python, comes across, sees her, and says, "Hey, what are you doing, little girl?" And she says, "Hey, I'm just eating some mushrooms." He says, "No, these are my mushrooms. For your transgressions, I eat you." And so he eats the little girl.
Gotta follow rules.
And then,
that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly right. And the mother finds out, and she says, "I told her so." The end.
Excellent story.
Oh, wonderful, Harissa.
That's
yes.
what the mother said?
Bravo.
Yep.
Bravo.
That's no, that's a...
Oh, I can sleep
that is not
easy.
a good,
Good night, y'all.
What is the lesson to...
The lesson is listen to your mother. My mother told me that story, and I was scared of forests ever since. Except for this one, for some reason.
When Harissa says that she has had a fear of forests except this one for some reason. Anyone who is so inclined can roll an insight check.
Yes.
Isaac is in full sleep mode. That was the most joyous story.
It was the most relaxing. Yeah, you're welcome.
I rolled a 6.
All right. Anybody else rolling an insight?
Not well.
Okay. June, that was a bullshit story. Honestly.
Yep.
You're not sure if Harissa's phoning these in or if she's genuinely repeating stories from her childhood. You're not sure which you're more comfortable choosing to believe.
June's gonna lean over to Guard and be like, I think she's terrified of this here forest. I think it's taken a lot right now for her to be here, and I'm just inspired by her tenacity.
Oh.
And let's just hope we don't see any snakes.
I will keep a lookout for snakes.
I don't want her running off and leaving us out of fear. I'm gonna make it my mission to watch out for them snakes, to protect her at all costs. So if you see one, you let me know.
I will let you know. And Guard immediately stands up and starts very seriously patrolling the campsite, looking for snakes.
Guard, if you would be so kind as to please take inspiration.
It's the most endearing thing I've ever had, June. So sweet.
And with that, we are going to move to the next episode in our montage, the next little glimpse here. Craig, something has been lost. What was lost, and how was it lost?
Okay. After waking up the next morning, June's bedroll's missing. Because she sleeps in the trees.
I don't use a bedroll.
Okay. How did it go missing?
Guard on his snake patrol thought that because it's always rolled up, because she sleeps in the trees, thought it was a snake. And so immediately began hacking it to shit. And Guard, realizing what he had done, decided to get rid of said evidence like he has previously.
I'll bury it with the others.
All right. Harissa, you specifically rectified this situation.
Uh-huh.
How?
June, how do you lose a whole bedroll?
I swear I put it somewhere around here.
These damn earrings again. You gotta keep focus on what you're doing and packing.
I found it. Here's the bedroll. It must have just gotten misplaced. She's just gonna give her one just so that June doesn't get in trouble.
Oh, see, Isaac, it was the Harissa. She found it. It's all right. I mean, I'm not gonna use it, but I don't even know why I brought this thing. I never.
June, there's a specific order. Now look here. Look how my pack is set up. I got my space for my bedroll.
You look ridiculous.
I got my space for my rope. Look at all this rope.
You look ridiculous.
Isaac, it is your turn for a campfire story this evening, if you are interested.
Oh yes. Gird your loins, young children. This is about to get spooky. Long ago, in Agrabah, a big booming city. I know most of y'all are country folk, probably don't even know what a city looks like. Buildings the size of these trees, where a whole bunch of people live in them. Huge wheeled carts that roll around, selling all different types of stuff that you like. One day, myself and your father Dale, we were supposed to go out and meet up with your mother, and go to a restaurant. The restaurant being known as the Dark Abyss. Now, we were gonna go eat at the Dark Abyss. But something tragic happened on our way there. We were moving speedily through these streets. The streets themselves are all intertwined and jagged like roots along a stone path. When suddenly, when we get to the door, we ask the waiter, we say, reserved for 3. And they say, unfortunately, you have missed the scheduled time. Oh, it was terrible. I told Dale, I said, Dale, We can't be late to every little thing that you schedule for us.
No! You go hungry?
And, your daddy was organized like you, June, and so he never had, we miss every appointment we had.
If you make an appointment, you should keep that appointment.
Thank you, God. Thank you.
I mean, you'd think you'd be there like 10 to 15 minutes.
That's what made the
beforehand.
most sense. But no, we always had to stop, and your parents had to hold hands and be all mushy-gushy. And I'm like, guys, we have a scheduled time. And then we had to sit and wait. We ended up not even eating.
We move to our next snippet. Sam, you get separated from the group and are lost. How?
You know what? I think that she probably left the group to go relieve herself far off in the woods, and then got very distracted looking for snakes.
It is around sort of late midday, but as fall begins to creep in, the sun sets earlier and earlier, and before you know it, you are alone in the dark, in a part of the forest that you have never been, convinced that all of the snakes you have yet to find are just around the next tree.
I mean, this looks like a trail. It looks like a snake trail.
Could you please roll me a d6?
I got a 5.
Okay. Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
you are responsible for finding June. How do you do it?
Okay. I am in my unnatural habitat. I have yet again lost my niece. Everything is fine. He is going to do all the things he probably seen Harissa do, which is pick up some dirt, muddle in his hands. Does she taste it? How do people like this? Oh. And as he does that, I think he'll accidentally do like a I guess divine sense.
Ooh.
And he'll use one of his divine sense just to detect good and evil, because June is good.
So we've kind of talked about how your divine sense works, and it's a little bit more like detect magic. You don't necessarily see it, but you kind of pick up on the real world effects of the magic that is around you, and that allows you to sort of zero in on June. You help guard in Harissa State Camp and go off on your own to track her down. And as you kind of focus inward, grasping on to that intuition that is your divine sense, you pick up 2 things that are curious. The first of which is something that you have always felt, but have never really been able to put a fine point on. It's a feeling of intense, sort of interpersonal warmth. It's a feeling that you know from your experiences with Katarine. She could be screaming at you over some nonsense, and yet something in the air, something in the light of the room always told you that she had your best interest at heart. And now that familiar glow draws you north. It has to be June. But south, you feel something brittle, something somber, something moving very quickly. And it is moving in June's direction.
I run, guys. Come on.
Please roll me an athletics check.
Okay, that's an 11. I rolled a 6.
Okay. On an 11, you beat whatever is heading June's way by the slimmest of margins.
Don't say that.
And you burst into a clearing where June is sort of crouched on all fours, scuffling through the leaf litter looking for snakes.
June, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, God!
And June, you can't even fully process that Isaac has come to rescue you. You know he's here, but you can't process sort of why he's here before the two of you are deafened by the beating of wings.
I look up.
Put the shield over both of us.
I try to look around the shield.
I'm going to actually ask you for a perception check since you're being sort of impeded here.
17.
That's very good. You look up into the canopy and see, standing the height of the trees just above them, the gaunt, emaciated form of a black crane. Its beak chipped slightly, scuffed as if it's been beating it against something, its eyes red and misty. Isaac, what's your passive perception?
Oh, complete dog shit.
That's actually very good for you here.
10.
Wonderful. You don't see any of this. June, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, fuck.
Sanity check.
What was it?
It was a nat 1.
Oh.
June. I'm going to ask you an out-of-character question, actually.
Okay.
If you had to pick an animal that you think best represented your father, what do you think it would be?
A bear. A grizzly bear.
The crane snaps its head to one side, whipping its beak around, snarling at you, sobbing at you. And you see a bear appear from the trees beneath its feet. A hulking grizzly, claws each the size of your head as it pushes into the underbrush. And it stands up on its hind legs. June, sweetie, it's time. And you stand up and begin to walk toward it. Isaac, what do you do?
June, where you going?
Can I say anything?
You don't say anything, no.
Do I see anything?
You see the bird. You see that there is a bird. You are not like making eye contact with it or acknowledging it in any meaningful way. There is no bear.
June, where you go? And he's gonna try and reach out for her.
Okay. I think that's an opposed athletics check. That's going to be a grapple.
It's a 19.
17.
Ooh, that was close.
Isaac, you grab June around the shoulders, pull her back behind Dale's shield, and June, you kind of knock your head off of Isaac's shoulder and come to. The bear is gone, and the crane screeches in a deafening shriek.
What is up with that bird?
Do I remember the bear?
Vaguely. It's a dream fading fast.
I think we should go.
You okay? Everything all right?
I don't feel good. I don't feel right. I was just looking for some snakes.
Snakes? We haven't seen animals out in these woods for ages. Isaac checks her eyes. Are they dilated?
She's a little panicked. Her adrenaline's going.
Oh, I know what you did. You ate some of those mushrooms Harissa had, and now you done had a trip. You took an actual trip.
I will not confirm or deny, but we need to...
How big is this crane, Patrick?
It is the height of one of these trees, right?
We have to leave now.
I just said that.
It takes off, silhouetted against the rising moon. And the two of you hear a distant, chest-rattling sob. June, it is your turn to avail yourself of a campfire story if you are so inclined.
All right. There once was a young girl, all on her own in the woods. She had nowhere to sleep, and she had no food to eat. And suddenly, she came up on this old cottage. She knocked on the door. Nobody answered. So she looked through the window and nobody was in there. But there was food on the table. So she very gently pushed on the window, and sure enough, it was unlocked. She crawled in there. She looked at the food on the table, and there were 3 bowls. There was a big bowl, medium bowl, and a small bowl. She was very hungry, so she ate all 3 bowls. She crawls up the stairs, her belly full, her heart warm, and she finds a large room with 3 beds. There's 1 big bed, a medium-sized bed, and a very small bed. She looked at the small bed and said, "Fuck that, that's too small." So she climbed into the biggest bed, because who wouldn't want more room? And there she falls asleep. At some point, she hears some clamoring up the stairs. She pulls the blanket over her head and peeks out just a little bit to see 3 grizzly bears walking into the bedroom, complaining about how somebody ate all their food and now somebody's sleeping in their bed. She pulled the blanket down from her head and she said, "I'm so sorry. I was so hungry. I had nowhere to go." And they took pity on her and decided to adopt her. And she was then raised by the grizzly bears, and they all curled up in the big giant bed and had plenty to eat for the rest of their lives, and they lived happily ever after. The end.
That is not the story my mother used to tell me. I remember a very different ending, I'm sure.
We are moving to our final scene in our little montage here. Cinder,
Hey,
someone nearly dies. Who and how?
during one of the nights that we are making camp, there is a massive downpour, big storm, and there's a little bit of a flash flood. While everyone is trying to get their stuff in order, collecting their packs, quickly trying to put everything under tarps or get up into trees, Mr. Spinks, who was sort of wandering and not really being super productive during this time,
Typical Spinks.
gets slammed by a branch that is shooting down a current, a part of this flash flood, and disappears into this, like, raging water and chunks of, like, branches and stuff.
All right.
You guys hear something that sounds like a drowning lizard?
In all seriousness, Harissa is very upset by this. As much as I'm joking.
Interestingly enough, as the dice shook out here, Guard, you are instrumental in saving Mr. Spinks. How do you do that?
While all of this is happening, Guard doesn't have a pack. He doesn't need to clack anything up. He's just sort of standing still while everyone is doing stuff. So he notices what is happening with Spinks, but it's loud. He lets people know and calls out, but there's a storm is raging, and he just sort of goes into instinct mode and starts, like, sprinting, charging sort of through what I imagine for him is, like, knee-deep water and mud after Spinks, avoiding branches and things, and almost like second nature starts reaching out and casting mold earth to sort of disperse
Yes.
That's so cool.
parts of the raging water in different directions, and basically to build up like a moat. And I imagine at a certain point it's like Spinks gets like caught by a little like wall of dirt, and Guard is able to get up to him and just like scoop him up. Have you ever like pulled a dog out of a lake?
Dog out of a lake.
Have you ever pulled a dog out of a lake?
Where they kind of go like limp almost.
Guard, you scoop up Mr. Spinks, and I don't necessarily think that the danger has passed in this moment, right? Like I think that you've protected Mr. Spinks, that he's okay now, but I think that this flash flood is substantial, right? Like I think that you all actually have to retreat into the trees for the evening. I think that at this point the water is probably up around sort of your hips, which would put it at just about anybody else's waist. What do you do? You see that June has kind of gotten the rest of them up into the canopy and is trying to sort of find the most stable ground, the sort of the sturdiest trees. What do you do?
I try to throw Mr. Spinks into a tree.
Jesus!
Yeet that lizard! Yeet that lizard!
Give me an athletics check, please.
I just want to say, with Spinks is probably clinging like, you know, like a really scared cat, like to his head, like. So he's have to like peel him off and then just like fling him towards the tree.
Give me an athletics check. If you're raging, you could take advantage here.
I don't need to. I got a natural 20.
Nah.
Oh, baby!
Ooh,
Guard, what does this look like?
I imagine almost exactly like Emily described. Spinks is like a cat clinging on, and Guard has to sort of peel him off, and he sort of finds the tree that Harissa is in, and he like a discus throw. He does like a spin, like a spin, like and just hucks Spinks at Harissa.
Spinks. Before you know what the fuck is happening, you are hurling through the air. And something clicks for you here. And all of a sudden, you can kind of adjust.
Shut up.
And you get the feeling that you have some sort of intuition for this experience. And then, wham!
Moment of enlightenment shattered.
Amazing.
You slam into the tree immediately next to Harissa's head. June, your experience kind of living out in these woods helps everybody kind of build their little nest and settle in for the night. And it takes the entire night for this flood to clear. I think that it gets up to Guard's head once or twice. But by mid-morning, it is back kind of down around his ankles and trickling out. The flood is unusual, right? Like, this is not necessarily a floodplain, or at least the vast majority of the Western Wealds is not a floodplain, right? Like, this is not something that normally happens. Most of the big rivers are further north, back toward Raleigh and Minehead. This probably means that you're getting close, that the land is devolving into swamp. So you trudge on for another day, and that following night, Guard, it is your turn for a campfire story if you would choose to avail yourself of one.
Once upon a time, there was a rhino that lived in darkness, and sometimes it would see not darkness, and it would smash things. Every time the rhino was not in darkness, there was something in front of it that it needed to smash, and it smashed that thing. And this went on for some time. Then one day, when the rhino was no longer in darkness, there was not something to smash. There was a boar, and there was a wolverine, and there was a gecko. and they became the rhino's best friend. When they hung out with the rhino got to do more than smash things, and this made the rhino happy. The end.
Woo! Yeah, what a good rhino.
Did he ever find a Mrs. Rhino to smash?
Wait a minute.
What?
You all awaken to the following morning. Clouds hang low in the valley in which you find yourselves. The trees have changed, taken on an older, more gnarled and weather-worn appearance. Roots split above the ground like stilts, gripping tirelessly, tenuously to the silty soil. The Western Wealds devolves here into a swamp, ancient and foreboding. You are close to your destination.
This place is unsettling. And then he pushes Harissa and June in front of him.
Rude.
Can I give you D inspiration?
Is this like difficult terrain? Like we are having a hard time traveling through it?
I think it gets up to that, right? I think that you guys, like when you set out in the morning, like, you know, you're kind of moving at a pretty similar clip. Things maybe slow down a little bit, but I think kind of as the day wears on, yeah, like you start coming up against embankments that give way underfoot and plains that turn into just mud.
As we are walking, my axe is going to be sort of up on my back, and Guard's fingers are just going to trail, leaving little lines in the mud as he's walking. And as we're going, I am going to be casting Mold Earth pretty continuously.
Okay.
Almost imagine like I'm like dragging paths that are walkable behind me.
Guard, could I get a perception check from you as well, please?
I got a 6.
Oh,
Okay.
God, the Oracle.
I'll use my inspiration. Fuck it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Hey.
Hey!
I see everything.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Not kid you not.
I told you it's God the Oracle. That's what I say.
Guard, you notice two very important things. The first of which is that as you walk, the trees begin to grow even denser, and you find yourself walking underneath canopy of hanging moss and gnarled branch to the point where it seems as if you're almost walking through tunnels.
Mm.
The second is that there are no geckos here.
Can I do something interesting? Can I get Spinks to do an insight check?
Can you get whom to do it? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Assuming as he got a weird, that he felt the heartbeat that time, I think maybe he might
Yeah.
have a little something to say. Oh well, nat 1, so so 3. Honestly, I think after his traumatic experience with the water, now he's so scared of falling into the water, he's probably just freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
I also want to ask about the smell.
Oh, that's a
If
good
it
detail.
smells, because you know how like a bog swamp will have that smell.
June, you can go ahead and roll a perception or a survival check for kind of more detailed notes on the smell.
Yeah, I'm gonna do nature.
Great, roll nature. Oh, and you have
Wow.
advantage because this is still the Western Wealds.
Hey,
You have advantage on nature and survival
I
checks
have
from the book.
books.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Shout out to Oz.
Fuck. It's a 13.
Okay. On a 13, it does definitely smell like a swamp, right? Like there's the decaying matter. There is sort of that constant permeating wetness of the space. A hint of sulfur?
All right, who did it? We're all grown here.
It was Sphinx.
Guard is going to pick up on Sphinx being quite uncomfortable, and almost like secondhand, he's just gonna reach up and just start like petting, scratching Sphinx like along the bristles of his frilled spine at the edge of it. It's all right.
I think Harissa is gonna kind of do a little bit of a double take at that. I think obviously one, she sees the hand kind of coming because like, you know, it's there. And also like, I don't think she's seen that from Guard before.
His voice change a bit?
This is new. Can I do an insight on that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 22.
Guard looks very comfortable right now in this space.
Huh.
In the swamp space?
In this weird underbrush tunnel of swamp and nature that we're sort of wandering through, moving forward, there is no sign of at arms attention at all.
Feel at home. Oh.
After probably about another 10, 15 minutes worth of walking, you come to a sort of three-way split. One path leads slightly left, one path leads slightly right, and one path bears hard right.
I'm going to look back to the others. Which way do you think we should go?
Why is Guard hot? What is happening?
Can I see any kind of signs of people having come this way before?
Roll me a survival check.
I got a dirty 20.
Harissa, on a dirty 20, you see footprints, old ones, boots, probably a man's, heavy. You said a dirty 20? Agravar construction. That path bears down the slight right.
Looking at these tracks, it looks like someone has head down this path. Agravarian by the looks of things. I think we should follow.
There's more.
Oh, there's more. Okay. Sorry, scratch that. Hold that for a second. Let me see what else.
Hold, please.
You see a pair of footprints go down the slight left further than you can see, and then come back up, and then go down the slight right.
And what do these look like?
These are fresh prints, and they are webbed, 3 toes, a frog in a size 12.
12 US or UK?
You get
That's fair. No, wait, that's fair.
Is that big? Because that's big for me.
It is bigger than a frog ought to be.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna convey this because what the fuck?
It sounds like something is hunting or tracking who we're tracking.
Potentially.
God, you need a lozenge or something? I think I got one in my pack. Hold on. What's going on?
What is a lozenge?
It's like a canopy, right?
I do not need a canopy.
A lozenge is not a canopy.
No.
I feel like there's quite a lot of canopy around us right
What
now.
is happening?
Sam, what were you asking?
If there was a chance for June to like climb up to get a higher perspective,
You could try. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check, if you would be so kind.
14.
On a 14, you easily get up into the trees, and it is dense. It's like climbing through bramble. But you push through, you break some stuff, and little branches fall down, and you kind of make your way up.
Sorry.
And you climb for what feels like maybe 15 minutes, never breaching a surface.
15 minutes?
And when you eventually give up and decide to drop back down, you drop back down in an instant.
I'm sorry, what?
Wait, so did time pass for us or her?
Oh, she was gone for 15 minutes.
Right.
But it takes me like, I'm just...
You haven't moved.
You just jumped right out. Oh. We done gone into freaking Wonderland. June, that took you forever. Did you find a way out?
There's something kind of unusual. I couldn't get to the top. There's like no top.
What do you mean?
Did you go up?
I did go up. I did. I went as far up as I could, and I did not see the sky. I did not see above the canopy. It's like
You all feel a gentle breeze pick up.
I want to try and shoot an arrow directly up into the trees and see if I can like break a hole through it or something.
As Harissa like takes out a bow and arrow and starts like pointing at the trees, Guard is just gonna put his arm on her shoulder and say, I think maybe we should just keep moving forward.
God, do you feel a change in yourself?
What do you mean?
I've noticed a change in you since we've come here. Just wondering if you had noticed it in yourself.
We've spoken about this before, haven't we? The farther we get from Raleigh. And I look to June and say, the more the mission fades.
June's not as shocked by Sam is.
Sam is like, what the fuck?
You seem definitely more at ease.
If the way that I'm acting is a concern.
No.
Not at all.
No.
If anything, Guard, you seem more at home. You seem more alive.
I'm not exactly sure how to take that. And then Guard is going to look up at these sort of gnarled, twisting branches above us. But I think perhaps it's best to continue on the path and not shoot the trees.
Harissa will lower her bow and nod and sort of basically signal to kind of keep moving.
Which direction?
I want to follow the footprints. I don't know if everyone else wants to do that.
The frog or the paladin?
They both went in. The frog went in two directions.
The frog came back and then went to the right. Yeah, so I want to go that way.
It seemed to double back on itself.
So we don't want to go that way because even the frog was like,
Hey, Guard.
Yes.
Just so I could maybe get like a higher viewpoint, can I ride on your shoulders? Is that okay?
Of course, sure.
All right, she clambers up, and when she gets up there, she's gonna take a second to like put her ear to like the top of Guard's head. To like, can she hear anything? She's listening for a heartbeat.
No.
June, what you see up there? What we Isaac's right behind you.
You all take the middle path.
Mm-hmm.
And you come to another small clearing with a hard left and a hard right. On the ground, you see a pair of Agrivar boots. And I need everyone to roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Con
So
save?
don't you dare say initiative. I was gonna rage.
That's my favorite saving throw.
Guard, you're immune to this.
A 9.
Ooh, I got a dirty 20.
Ooh, 18.
Okay. June, is there anything you can do to increase that number?
Inspiration.
Yay!
4.
Oh,
Okay. June, I'm going to ask you this question for the second time today. What sort of animal best represents June?
June?
Oh shit!
I want to say like almost like, you know, the squirrels that have like the tall.
Like a tufted squirrel?
Yeah, I almost want to say that.
Okay. No, I love that. I absolutely love that. June, you don't notice this at all. Anyone who is sort of paying close attention, sees June's. June, your hair is like kind of a dark, like a chestnut color, right?
Chestnut brown, yeah.
It smolders into the red of a tufted squirrel.
June's hair?
And you see little tufts of fur pop on the ends of your half-elven ears. You see the discarded boots. The tracks stop. The frog prints continue. They continue to the right. The boots look as if they're angled to the left, but the tracks stop.
There's frog prints, but does it look like a bipedal frog, or does it look...
Yeah, it's 2. It looks like it's walking on 2 feet. The branches above you have twisted themselves into roots.
What?
You see no further sign of leaf or pine, nothing but roots, root branches, root canopy, root trunks, and upon the ground, a thin, white, fungal mycelium stretches out in all directions. June, you notice this, and it is eerily familiar. This is what you so eloquently put as inside the blood tree. This is the space where all of those Agrivar warriors marched into death.
Oh, shit. Can I take a closer look at that white stuff? All right.
You have seen very similar mycelium before. Mycelia. They look a lot like what comes up out of the ground when Guard casts Mold Earth.
I'm going to go up to Isaac, and I'm going to just take the torch out of your hand very gently. Not like I'm just going to be like, let me just see that for a second. And Guard is going to walk up to both of the pathways and see which one has the wind blowing through it.
Good.
Ooh, good shout.
It is the right path.
I think this is the way we should go.
You all move down the right path, following the trail of the frog prints. You all bear down this tunnel that gets darker and darker. It feels as if it is closing in around you. The light of the torch pushing back against encroaching death. And then there's an end to the tunnel. And you step out into a plain. The bank of a lake? And this lake stretches for a while to the left and to the right. It's not very wide, maybe 30 feet. And you can see that there are trunks and stones kind of peering up from the surface of the water. And all of you see, on the far side of the bank, 2 hulking figures standing over some body shrouded in darkness, hovering, landing blow after blow with determination. And I need you to all please roll me initiative.
Hello, you wonderful listeners, and welcome to the middle of the episode. My goodness, doesn't our dear Dungeon Master like throwing some crazy monsters at us? Well, guess what? When we get back, not only will there be some monsters, there will be some brand new NPCs. NPCs that were named by some of our patrons. I'm not going to tell you who they are now. We'll point them out when we get there. But we're going to have one from Nick Plaisance and one from Jonas Weiser. And I am so excited for you to meet these characters. They are goofs and gaffs and a little bit full of laughs. And if you're thinking to yourself, man, I'd like to name a character, well, you can. You should check out our Patreon. It's wonderful, easy to access. You get all sorts of fun, cool stuff like stickers, the ability to name NPCs, or even make magic items for us to wield. Ooh. That's not all the news we have, friendo. Starting whenever the next one is, our sideshow Rebalancing, where you, the audience, can submit questions to be asked to the cast, is going to go public. Anyone is going to be able to join in for the live streams, as well as view the episodes later on YouTube if you can't make it to the main event. And if there's any that are particularly exciting, or we come upon some wonderful moments, perhaps we'll put them on the main show as well. So be sure to check it out and get your questions ready. We love answering them. It's a good old time. Speaking of good old times, did you know that our dear Emily Graymore is one of the hosts of a new podcast called Delightful Dungeon Diving? This is a podcast that is chatting and skits all about voice acting. So if you're interested in voice acting, you should definitely check it out. You can find it anywhere podcasts are sold? No, they're not sold. Anywhere podcasts are sent out into the universe. Delightful Dungeon Diving. That sounds cool, but you know what else would be cool? Watching Craig. You know Craig, he plays Isaac. Wouldn't it be cool to watch Craig play in an actual play D&D stream every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time? Well, guess what? You can. It's called Grim Domains, and you can find it at twitch.tv/MagiRPG. That's MAGIRPG. Every Friday night, 6:30 Pacific. Oh my goodness. Pacific Standard Time. Check it out. It's a good time. Speaking of good times, y'all know Tyler. He's the host of that show, Rebalancing I mentioned earlier. And he has the Penny Lich Volume 2 coming out in December. Volume 1 is already out and available. You can find it at twclawson.com. If you like the creepies and the crawlies and the oogies and the boogies, this volume, this book, this pamphlet, this tome, I'm going to call it a tome. This tome is for you, so be sure to check it out. Now, I've been talking for a little over 3 minutes and 45 seconds, and I feel like we should get back to the show. I can't think of anything else to mention other than the fact that I love you, and you're great, and I want to say thank you for listening. And if you are like, hey, how can I support this channel more than I do now? Well, money and Patreon and telling your friends about us. Any of those, really. We love to make this show, and we love making it for you. So the more people listening, the more power we gain. You are sort of like our patron, and we're sort of like your warlocks. Anyway, that's enough gobbledygook. Let's get back to the action, shall we? And away we go.
June, having just seen what I've described, you are up first.
I'm gonna spend a bond for patient defense, and call out to the guys beating up on the shadow. Hey, what are you doing?
You see two figures stop their assault, look at each other, and turn to you. And you see that they have a flared head, one homogeneous form of a body, hulking shoulders, arms that are far too long, no hands or fists but stumps, no mouths but mats of holes, hollow eyes. Are you alright, Sam?
Is it like the back of those toads with like all the holes where the babies?
Kind of. I will stop describing them though, because it's not a fun. Yeah. The first thing that you see is that this thing coughs. Just this. And from its face, a cloud of neon teal forms a haze in the room, and all of a sudden, all of you can hear in your heads, "Who the hell are you?"
Oh, and they're French. Gross. That's the grossest part.
And they're French.
June, that's action, or excuse me, bonus action from you. Do you have an action?
No, I have no action. I'm gonna use my movement to step closer to my friends.
You guys are on the other side of the lake from this thing, so you're 30 feet away with water in between you. So
I'm still gonna step back.
okay. The one that addressed you straightens up, leans back in this incredibly uncomfortable way, and just sprints at you without its upper body moving at fucking all.
No! Stop! I don't like any of this! No! Oh, June just screams.
I rolled a dirty 20 on this athletics roll. He is boom, 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 boom on the other side of the lake, currently squaring up with whoever was first in line, I believe, guard.
God's like, on it.
That athletics check was going to be his action, and so he does not have any bonus actions. He just squares up with you, guard. He doesn't look to be particularly happy. You see the second one, again, looking at you, maintaining eye contact with your group, not looking at the shadow on the ground, reaches down, grabs the shadow off of the ground. You can very clearly see frog feet kind of illuminated in some of the ambient lighting here.
The prince.
And he wraps his arm around this thing and, like, takes a step back. He's going to take the dodge action. Harissa, you're up.
The first thing Harissa is going to want to do, as soon as she saw that cloud of weird shit come out of its mouth, is kind of take a layer of her clothing, kind of put it up over her, like, mouth and nose.
Okay.
And, like, wrap, like, she don't want to breathe none of that shit in. Thank you very much.
Give me a survival roll. We're going to say that if you hit DC 20 on this, you're going to be immune to further spore effects. If you don't hit a DC 20, if you hit a DC 15, I'm going to give you advantage on the next spore effect.
Okay. I got 20!
Let's fucking go!
I got a dirty 20!
Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about!
Let's go.
Harissa, you are now immune to the spore effects for this match.
Thank God. Fuck that shit.
That is going to be your action, though.
Yeah, fair enough. She will move away. Like, is there like a room around the outside of the lake she can kind of move off to like the left or the right?
Yeah, you could absolutely strafe off to the left. Great, cool, wonderful.
I'm not going to command poor Sphinx to do anything in this at this moment, but I can put Hunter's Mark on the one on the far side of the lake. There was a bonus action.
Isaac, you're up.
Isaac hears that in his head, and he's like, "Oh, this is more that magic nonsense. Oh, y'all be careful." And he's gonna cast Bless on his homies.
Amazing.
Yay!
So that's attack rolls and saving throws. You can add a D4. And then he's going to. That's his action, but then he's gonna move up with guard. Seeing this individual means business.
Okay, cool. So that's going to be Isaac's turn. Guard, you have busted up this confrontation, and one of these two assailants is now squaring up with you. What do you do?
I'm gonna look back at June and then look at this horrifying fucking monster man. You're scaring my friends, and I'm gonna stop that. And I will rage. And normally when Guard rages, his filigree started to glow. But when Guard rages, his filigree doesn't glow. The opposite happens. Like, the parts of him that are not the filigree start to glow.
Oh.
And between the plates of ceramic of his armor, little vines with little like buds of flowers and leaves emerge out.
That's cool.
I love every single one of Guard's magical girl transformations.
And I am going to bring down the Lorax upon this fucking monster man.
Amazing.
That's a natural 20.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that hits. Holy fuck.
That is 14 plus 2, 16 damage.
Nice.
God damn. I think you actually take like a slice off of this thing. The axe just goes straight into his sort of limp arm, taking off a slice, and like the interior is fungal. You have just shaved a shiitake. This is
It's a mushroom man.
a mushroom person. And he, again, snaps his neck in the other direction and says, I'm gonna be honest with you, my friend, that was just rude. No need to come up in here, accuse us of frightening your friend. If your friend is so damn scared, why they come to the big city, huh, boy?
Yes.
June, it's your turn.
Are we fighting this thing?
Looks like he wants to fight you.
Yes.
Ugh. I'm not scared of you. She's gonna try to whack him with her quarterstaff.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. It's a nat 20.
Yeah!
Oh god.
Yes!
You guys are going ham on this
With the
dude.
20s today.
We have to
All
kill
right.
this thing so we stop having to deal with it.
Yeah.
Can I flavor that hit just a little bit?
Yeah.
Can I jump on to guard's shoulders? I want to leap off and come down. I just want to smack it right in the middle of its disgusting holy face.
You put a fucking, like, dent in this thing's face as it staggers back a step.
Wait, let me do damage. 8 points of damage.
Nice.
All right, you following it up with anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw my staff back on my back and hit him with flurry of blows.
Okay, absolutely.
And that was a 12.
A 12 does not hit.
You have a D4 for bless.
So it's a 13.
That hits.
Ha.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Whap, whap, whap.
Bless.
Just make sure you wash your hands afterwards, please.
And that's 6 points of damage. So if I want to do extract aspects, I gotta wait for it to be a reaction, correct?
No, you just do it. You analyze this thing for free on a flurry of blows. When it attacks you, you can attack back as a reaction. That's what you get from that.
Cool.
You also learn like what weaknesses it has, if anything. You punch this thing, and as your fist connects with its like meat, it just and time slows down, and you get this just like hollow wireframe of this thing, and you're waiting. This should work. Something's wrong. This thing isn't part of Bond. It's outside of what binds all living things together. You think you get the beat on it. You think you can still react to it. But you don't know anything about it.
Fucking weird.
Yeah. And she's like, ah! Like, she's so scared.
Just freaking the absolute fuck out. I love that. Now
Yeah.
it's gonna be this thing's turn. And he looks at Guard. He says, I don't know, my friend. She don't look too afraid. And he coughs another wave of pink spores at June. June, I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
4.
Oof.
Yeah. June, these spores clog your mouth with this sickening berry flavor, your nose with the smell of rotting meat, and eventually your eyes. Mechanically, you are now poisoned for the next minute, and while poisoned, you are incapacitated as you drop to your knees and begin to hallucinate.
Oh no.
June, we're gonna touch on what your hallucination looks like here momentarily, but this mushroom, seeing the waves of magic emanating off of Isaac, is going to reach out and grab him and try to throw him in the water.
Of course.
June, you see 2 more of these things grow out of the ground in real time, grabbing you by your arms and shoving you to your knees. You watch as Isaac helplessly falls into the water. And for the next minute, unable to move, you watch him drown to death.
Oh, Jesus.
These guys are mean. These are mean mushroom people.
Mean much. This isn't Toad.
She is screaming and crying, losing her fucking mind.
The next one, because there's 2 of them, sees Harissa making her way across, strafing along the bank of the lake.
Oh no. I'm scared.
Rushes over in your direction and says, "Hey, you there! What you want with this thing anyway? You trying to get what you got too?"
Through her, muffled mask, do not know what you're talking about. I am just trying to find my friend.
He your friend? Oh, baby, we gonna tangle tonight, huh? And he sets the frog body down and is going to spend his movement action to get across the lake. And is going to be standing on a stump about 5 feet out from Harissa over the body of water. And that is going to be his turn.
Kind of him to make himself a nice little target for me.
He is within melee range. You will have disadvantage on ranged attacks against him. It is your turn.
Can I move before firing?
Yeah, of course you can. You get an attack of opportunity, but yeah.
I think I'm going to risk that. I think she's just trying to give herself a little bit more space.
Does an 18 hit?
Yes, it does, funnily enough.
Marissa, you take 18 points of damage, 8 of which are poison.
18?
What?
18? Are you joking?
As this thing clocks you in the head, and you feel both the fresh blossom of a bruise and the necrotic seep of poison sap.
The fucking force of that is going to nearly I think it sends Harissa down to the ground just as she's getting her bow and arrow out ready. I think she's going to just immediately just fire back at this thing.
Okay.
I'm going to try and do some sharpshooter at this thing. 13 hits, I hope?
Yes, it does, as a matter of fact. Plus, you also have Bless, but yes, 13 does hit.
18 damage.
Yes!
Bring the fucking pain!
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I hate these mushroom people!
How'd you like that?
The arrow whips into his forehead, splitting it down the middle, tearing through, shooting off into a distant tree, and he... That's a hell of a hit there.
I could say the same to you.
All right, I'm still standing. Don't you worry.
Shall we try again?
Is that it for your turn?
Yeah, I think she's just gonna try and ready herself for the next fucking go.
Isaac, you are in this water?
Does he see June freaking spazzing?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, June is on her knees, having a small seizure. Her eyes are rolled back into her head. Everything is bright pink.
Oh yeah, 100% he charges over there.
Okay, I'm going to say that is the majority of your movement.
I still have an action?
Yeah, and bonus.
Sweet. He runs over. June, you all right? You okay? What's going on? And he's gonna grab her by her face, and he's like, "Oh, damn mushrooms again! She needs to stop taking these drugs." In touching her face, he casts Lay on Hands with 5 points to cure a disease or neutralize a poisoning effect on a creature.
Yeah, so that is gonna work. Here's how this is gonna play out, and Craig, I'm gonna throw you a little bit of a curveball here.
Always, dang.
Isaac, you are drowning. This water is deeper than you could have imagined. Something is grabbing at your ankles, pulling you under, over and over, and you feel the weight of your axes, the weight of your warden's shield, the weight of your plate armor dragging you down. And every time you pull your head up for even a second, you see first Dale, Caterin, June, 5 years old. And then back down. You struggle. You drop your shield. It's gone. You pull your head back up. Dale, June, a teenager now. You're back down. You fight. You kick. You try to hold your breath. You slough off all of your plate mail. Back up. Another breath. June, alone, 20. Dying. Bleeding out on the ground. What do you do?
He just rips off whatever else he feels is keeping him, pulling him down. Whether that be the plate armor, whether it be the axe he has, he drops all of it.
June. You watch Isaac shed everything that is dear to him, claw his way to the bank, take your head in his hands, and you your eyes roll back into frame, and Isaac is there, exactly as you remembered him. The pink mushrooms are gone. You are no longer poisoned.
You are? You okay? You alright? Why are you crying? What's going on?
She looks up and just wraps her arms around his neck head area.
You are both within melee range of the original Minehead. Guard, it is your turn.
Guards seeing Isaac holding June, both of them sort of frantic in emotion, watching Harissa just getting clobbered by this other one. He's just gonna look at this mushroom creature in front of him, and the emotional tension of the people around him, his team, are it's almost like they're he can't not feel that, and he's just gonna snarl. And he's going to bring his axe down. As he is not a person in this moment. It is as animalistic as he can. He is overwhelmed by that. And that's another fucking natural 20. Let's go! Let's go, baby!
Jesus Christ!
Yes.
All right.
I have feelings!
Just so everyone knows, Cinder just threw over his chair. It was fantastic.
Holy shit!
That's 27 damage.
Guard, finish him.
Guard is going to take his axe and just growling smash this thing until it is pieces and pieces and pieces. So there's just a hole in the ground. And he's going to stand up and bang his axe against his chest and just let out a loud
Grizzly bear mama.
Yes.
You messed with the cubs, you get the grizzly bear mama.
And then with my movement, I would like to start moving towards the other mushroom creature.
Come here!
June, I think you know what you see here. You see Guard just absolutely lose his fucking mind.
Okay.
Isaac looks at you. Go kick its ass!
Alright, do you trust me?
100%.
Alright, and so she's on the ground, right? And she's holding Isaac. She's gonna fling him forward and use that momentum to stand up.
Yes.
To get herself up. So she's gonna use that momentum, fling herself up, and use all of her movement to go running behind Guard to go at that guy. The other mushroom dick.
Yeah.
She's wearing her dad's scarf, so she just quickly tucks it up over her face.
Yes.
I need a survival check from you, and that this is going to be your action.
Okay, that's fine. 11.
You don't know how well this is going to work. June doesn't know how well this is going to work, but I'm going to tell you, Sam, that this is not going to provide you any protection.
She's gonna just keep it up there.
Okay. this second Myconid is just fully fucking, like, there's a bunch of people on the bank with him now. He is still kind of on this stump. He's like, well, I can't say this went the way that I had expected it to. What to do? Whom amongst you look like you might be the fastest to break? You kid. You look pretty scrawny. Let's try you. And a cloud of yellow.
Damn it.
Just fizzles out. And I need another con save.
No, June.
Fuck. 4.
Yeah, that ain't gonna do it.
No.
June, you feel every muscle in your body lock up.
Oh, June.
You are stunned for 1 minute.
Okay.
Jeez.
And then, this thing is going to swing on guard.
That's fine. I was like, please don't swing on me again. Jesus Christ. Oh, I will die.
Does a 21 hit?
Of course.
Are you resistant to poison damage?
Mm-hmm.
22 halved to 11.
Ooh,
Okay, that's not too bad.
what do you mean?
For guard, it's probably not as bad, to be fair.
Harissa, you see this thing stun June and pummel guard. What do you do?
She's just not even gonna think about it. She's just gonna lock another arrow and let loose. 10. Can I roll the d4 for the bless?
Yes, you can. You need a 3 or higher to hit.
I got 3.
You got a 3! Holy shit! Harissa, do the damage.
Yes.
Just 14 this time.
You get him sort of right above where you think the hip would be, and it tears a pretty big fucking hole, but he no-sells it.
Yeah, fair.
Isaac, it's your turn.
Does he notice that June is like frozen in place?
Yeah!
Ah, shit.
All right.
Like, June's, like, frozen with, like, you could see her, like, fist raised and, like, twitching slightly.
You really need to lay off the drugs, June. I'm all for experiencing new things, but you gotta have a limit. And he's gonna use another 5. Yeah, I got 15.
June, you aren't hallucinating this time, so it really is just Isaac running up to you and, like, shaking you out of this stupor.
Oh, slap at it.
Oh God.
That's movement and action from Isaac. Any bonus actions?
Bonus action. God, keep chopping. That's
Guard just looks at you and just goes.
Guard, it's your turn.
Guard is going to step past through his comrades to get in close to this thing as possible. We're just gonna bring the hammer down, or the axe down, rather.
This could be it. This may do it if you do anywhere near what you did last time.
That is an 18 to hit.
It does hit.
That's not bad damage though. That's 15.
He's looking pretty fucking bad. He's not dead yet, though. June, you're back up, and you are no longer stunned.
Cool. All right. I'm so done with these creepy motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use a 2-handed quarterstaff attack. A 10
Yeah, that you miss.
butts.
Bonus attack?
Unarmed strike. I'm just gonna keep trying. That's a nat 20.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll damage. Let's see what happens here.
Who needs a stick when you got a fist?
7.
All right, 7 damage. He is still up. As you whip your quarterstaff at this guy, and he just, like, leans casually without his head moving. Like, it's almost as if his head is, like, on a gyroscope. He just leans out of the
Ew.
fucking way. And that freaks you out so fucking much that you just punch him in the face. He's kind of like, ugh, you a fasty one, huh? All right. Boom. And he's going to punch you in the face. Does a 14 hit?
No.
Wow.
Oh, good.
You duck down underneath the punch, and he looks at you quizzically, like he genuinely wasn't expecting that, and then shakes his head. I need another con save from you. Now, I'm actually going to make that against Isaac instead.
If June didn't have to move up, Isaac would be right there. So yeah, nat 20.
Hey,
fair enough.
buddy.
This stuff kind of honestly smells a little like turmeric.
Oh.
It's really not that bad.
Is that mint?
Oh, God.
Harissa, it's your turn.
I think I'm just going to try and finish this guy off. Does a 16 hit?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, was that sharpshooter too?
Yeah.
Finish him.
So that's 17 plus Hunter's Mark this time. I'm going to do it. Oh, that's another 6. So that's 23. I wanted to definitely finish him.
Stop it! He's already
I want him
dead.
I think what I want to do is, as he's coughing at Isaac, just in one of his fucking gross holes, just fire an arrow right down his throat.
You hear cracking and crunching as this thing's like gizzard devours this fucking arrow, and it just like and just explodes into a cloud of neon teal dust. As you all survey the scene, you see all of these tiny little remnant pieces of these destroyed myconids turn into fully formed tiny versions of the originals and just run screaming into
I'm just going to stamp on a few of them as they fucking run away. The bastards. Stamp, 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 stamp.
As things start to settle a little bit, Guard still in full rage mode. After Harissa makes the killing blow and starts stomping on these mushroom people, he's just gonna run up to her, grab her by the back of her armor, lift her up in the air, and just
I think Harissa would have let out a bit of a squeal beside, just not being able to help herself, just like, Gia! Like as she gets picked up, especially because she's quite hurt at the moment.
Yeah, your face is just like a mess of fucking bruise and like boil. It's pretty bad. You guys kind of take some time to decompress. You take a short rest, and I think toward the end of it, kind of Isaac, you eventually sort of get this guy kind of back on his feet, and you see...
Hold on, Your Highness.
A humanoid frog shift and kind of sit up. And he kind of takes his hat that was like tied kind of by a loose string kind of around his neck, and he sort of puts it up, and it's a big oversized acorn cap. He kind of blinks his frog eyes, and he's probably about 2.5, 3 feet tall, right? He's probably only a little smaller than Oz. And he kind of shifts, adjusts his little leaf cape. What hit me?
2 large mushroom people.
Oh, yeah. Man, fuck those guys.
Indeed.
Oh, my head.
Hold on, I'll get a clean cloth and dunk it in the river and bring it to him.
Oh, yeah, spring water. That's probably a good idea. Yeah, bring it over here.
Spring water?
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. Yeah, thank you very much. That's very pleasant. That's very nice. Thank you. He kind of like leans his head back, and his mouth just like opens extremely wide because he's a fucking frog, and he like twists the rag and like takes a drink from the rag. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Yeah, that's very good. Thank you. Has anybody seen my spear? Anybody?
Harissa will do a quick scan for it
Gee, I hope it's not broken.
if she can see it anywhere.
Go ahead and roll me survival or perception, your choice.
I got a 22.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Back over where they were kind of just like kicking the shit out of him on the ground, there is a stick that's probably about, kind of his size, 2.5, 3 feet tall. And then kind of on the end is tied the petrified corpse of a wasp stinger out. This wasp is probably about the size of an American football.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Oh, no.
Holy moly. Harissa's going to pick it up and go, is this,
Yeah, that's it! And his tongue shoots out and wraps around it and pulls it back in. Ah! Hey, it's not broke! Gee, thanks, guys. I owe you a lot. It's very helpful. Thank you.
What is your name?
Oh, my name's Reevesy.
Beautiful name. My name is Harissa.
Reevesy Hopper Swallop. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Were they after something of yours?
Yeah, probably.
What would they have been so keen on?
Well, I mean, I got a nice spear. That's pretty good.
It is a very nice spear.
My hat's also pretty good. But honestly, if I were pressed, they were probably after what I was also after. I was looking for the man with the boots. Have you guys seen a man with boots?
We are actually looking for a man that doesn't have any boots anymore.
Yeah, that's the one. You find him? I've been looking for him for... Gee, what day is it?
Thursday.
Thursday. I've been looking for him for 9 years. No. Probably about a week. I don't know. Something like that. Hey, y'all are real funny looking. You know that? Except for these two. And he points at Guard and June. She's a little funny looking.
What? What?
Harissa's gonna touch the like swollen side of her face and just be like, for fuck's sake. And like Spinks is gonna kind of pop out of his
What's wrong with me?
his out of the poncho because he's heard this voice and it's kind of got him quite curious. Hi.
Oh, a lizard. Hi.
Hi.
Which forest you from?
He's gonna like pop out and like stand with his like sort of like fists on his hip, puff his chest up a bit to try and sort of get to nearly as much of the height as the frog. I'm from I think this forest. I don't know. I've only been here like a couple of weeks.
Well, we're not in a forest there, friendo. You might be a little far from home.
Oh. I have been in a poncho for a little while, so maybe that is why.
Yeah, that'll do it. Sometimes I get lost in poncho time, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe we could be friends? I haven't met a person like me yet.
Well, that's just because you've spent all your time out there in the woods. Which is, I mean, that's your job. So I get it. It's like I spend all my time in here because it's my job.
Oh? What's your job?
I'm a guide.
A guide?
Yeah.
Oh, can you guide us?
Yeah.
Cool. We're friends now. We're friends, Savra. I made a friend.
The high-pitched voices.
Emily's dancing. Emily's dancing right now. That's what you need to understand.
This is Sphinx is just happy.
You will both need throat lozenges.
Yes, after this.
But y'all don't look right. Are you all headed to the hot springs?
Sphinx will look at Safra like, huh?
We're looking for a friend of a friend.
You can have friends of friends? That sounds complicated.
It is.
Yeah.
Are the geckos around here?
Well, maybe some of them? Hold on. Let's find out. Hey, you! Where you at?
Yep, they're here. They're here. That's what the Lorax likes to say.
And he kind of looks around, and then he points off into kind of the middle distance, and you see sort of right above the hollow that you all emerged from, the branches part slightly, and you get the glimpse of a pure white face, the size of any of yours, with a wide-brimmed paper hat, and it kind of peers out, nods, and then sinks back into the brush. Yeah, there was one. They don't come around here much.
Those aren't geckos.
They're certainly bigger.
Yeah, I don't remember them being that big.
Commander Hopperscotch. Was that the name?
Hopperswallop.
Hopperswallop?
Reevesy Hopperswallop, named by one of our generous patrons. Shout out to Nick Plaisance.
Hey!
Amazing name. I love it.
You said we're not in the woods anymore? Then where are we? Are we dead?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Again, you don't look right. So I can't tell you whether or not you're dead. But that's almost always the condition in which people wind up here. You're in the springs.
So we're accidentally dead. Oh, have you seen any other folks that kind of look like us come by here? Like wrong?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Why are you looking for the man with the boots?
Well, that's my job. I'm a guide. I found the footprints, I found the boots, and it's my job. He's obviously lost. Madame Demoiselle was not able to find him when he was still alive. And so he wandered in here on his own. And my job is to kind of go find him and bring it back. Bring it back to the hot springs.
You work for Madame Demoiselle.
Yeah.
Do you know where we could find her?
Not really.
Do you know where we could find her husband?
Oh yeah, Gambald.
Who?
Gamble?
That's kind of who I've been working for. He's not really my boss, but Madame Demoiselle has been indisposed. Gambald's a husband. He runs the hot springs.
Could you take us to him?
Yeah, that's my job.
Great.
Convenient.
Very, some could say.
But I gotta find the guy with the boots or without the boots.
Perhaps if you took us to your boss, we could help you find the man with the boots? Or without the boots?
I think that would probably work, yeah.
Great.
I mean, because I'm supposed to take you guys to him regardless, so, that's my job.
Okay. We'll make sure you get promotion, huh?
Well, I don't really want a promotion. Mostly what I want is to be freed from this Sisyphean cycle.
Respect. Fight the power reach.
Okay. Maybe we get you early retirement. Okay, fair enough.
It's kind of a penitence thing, you know?
Have you heard of the town of Raleigh? We kind of get into stuff like that.
No, I got no idea what you're talking about, boss.
All right, then lead the way.
Off we go then.
June,
Yeah.
are you okay?
She's shaking. That thing just had a lot of holes in its head, and I saw Isaac die, and I'll be fine. I think I'm okay. Are you?
You have squirrel ears.
What?
Your ears.
They're a little fuzzy.
Her hair color has also changed.
Guard's colorblind.
Valid.
Isaac tries to think back to whether Catarin's hair and ears did that previously.
I don't know what this is. Mr. Frog, is this
Reevesy. You can call me Reevesy.
Mr. Reevesy? Is this does this usually happen to folks?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You look kind of normal.
Huh.
So when people come here, when they die and they make their way over here, they turn into animals?
Well, kinda. It's a little tough to explain. And I'm not the brightest. So, maybe Gambald?
We should let's get to Gamble.
You are very bright, Reezy. Don't put yourself down like that.
No, it's okay. I'm not, it's not a disparaging thing. We all have our strengths.
God.
Like mine's guiding.
Okay, let's start guiding. Less talking, more guiding.
Okay.
Wait. What was that pause? Hold on, Reezy.
And he's just going, do you guys follow?
Damn it, Harissa.
Sorry.
Can I get a Constitution saving throw from Harissa and Isaac?
I have a hopeful.
12.
Isaac, somehow, once again, you are just immune to magic.
Let's go.
Harissa,
No.
you see that as your face begins to heal, the bruise becomes a light red set of scales.
Captain Harissa, how's your face? Hi.
Will you stop recoiling in horror every time you look at me? Jesus.
Before we leave the stream, June wants to fill her water canteen.
Reevesy sort of looks back and says,
Hey, that's a good idea. That'll tide us over till we get to the hot springs. There'll be plenty there, though, too, so.
Oh, great.
Oh, 1 second. Could you get me one as well? And Isaac's going to take out his bottle, puts a label on it that says spring water.
We see
Oh, I love it.
the 5 of you, 6 of you with Mr. Spinks, traverse through this underground forest. Root trees give way to fluorescent mushroom undergrowth, and you finally see where the ambient light is coming from. As it glows off of the caps of little mushrooms and the sheets of lichen, providing a diffuse, cool glow to everything. And Reevesy leads with confidence. The occasional limp from being near beaten to death earlier today, but he leans on his spear and soldiers on. You all make your way through turn and glen and crevice until you find yourself at the base of a hill. And at the base of that hill, you see a town. A great, bustling metropolis. Bright lights, paper lanterns, busyness, people, shops, stalls, carts, restaurants. And at the top, a tower overlooking everything with a little roost at its very tip. You see a river much like the one that cuts through Raleigh, tumbling down the hillside, forming little pools. The hot springs.
Hey! That's it! We're almost there!
What in the...
Thank you, new bestie!
He's like mimicking Reevesy, like the way he's walking.
It's kind of beautiful, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, it should be beautiful. Death needs to be peaceful, right? At least that's what Gambald says.
Gambald?
Ganbald?
Gambald.
Ganbald, named by another one of our patrons. Thank you, Jonas Whistle.
I feel like
Thank
I've
you.
been spirited away.
I hate you. I knew it.
Reevesy then leads you up through the town, which I promise we will have ample time to explore in detail. But as you are hurried through, you see all sorts of fascinating, fantastical things. You see food stalls and silk purveyors, hawkers that are actual literal hawks. You see giant anthropomorphic lightning bugs and butterflies putting on intricate kabuki-esque dances in the middle of the street for all to see. You see gnomes and elves and people reclining in pools. You see few of these, but far more catfolk and dogfolk. Strange creatures that don't look like anything you've ever seen before. Moving fire. Wind that seems to have a will as it orchestrates a gambling game on the street. And as you arrive at the base of the tall tower, you are greeted by a body of smoke, wearing a mask that looks surprisingly like guards. And you see Reevesy looks up at this smoke and says,
How you doing there, buddy? Can we see him?
and the smoke eyes you over. I need each of you to make me another Constitution saving throw, except guard.
I got a 17 this time.
I got a 5.
I got a 10.
Okay.
Yay!
June?
Can I have a tail?
Yes.
Yes!
Turning into squirrel. Is it squirrel girl?
Damn it, this is the kind of thing where I was hoping I would fail my con save because I don't know what else happens.
June, a squirrel tail kind of tears through a seam, and you feel yourself a little shaken. This doesn't feel good when it happens. It's not threatening, but it doesn't feel right. And the four of you kind of make eye contact with this eyeless mask, hollows into smoke. And it bows at the waist and back up and begins to lead you inside.
Nah, just out of respect, Isaac would do the same.
No. He's, we don't really talk about that one's sort of situation, but, it suffice it to say that who or whatever they were, they have a lot to work on before they go back.
Oh.
So, they bow to us, not the other way around.
Interesting.
Thank you for letting us know.
Good people, very helpful. But, like, there's a lot of decorum here. I don't know all of it. I know a little bit. But just be careful, okay? You will bow to Gambald, though. Definitely do that. Gambald's a god.
Oh, joy.
June's holding her tail like, all right.
Okay. Follow me. Stick close. And whatever you do, don't eat anything until you sort of offered it, right?
You hear that, Sphinx?
Okay.
Honestly, he might be fine. I don't think anybody would hold a lizard to task, They do good work.
You hear that? I can eat.
Maybe not a great idea, but, like, I'm just saying,
Oh,
you're probably not going to get in a lot of trouble,
okay, maybe I eat it just a little.
You all are led to the center column of this tower. Around you, people are busy. It looks as though there are little restaurants and reading nooks and spaces where quiet live music is being played. Anything to sort of relax the senses, to quell the anxieties, and to provide relief to the departed. All being carried on by as many kinds of animal or nebulous people as you could possibly imagine. You step into a small gated room, and the smoke genasi pulls a lever. The counterweight falls, and you all are thrown up dozens of flights.
You're all going to want to brace yourself for the landing.
Not again.
Most of you brace yourself, and you sort of prep for the little hover that's going to happen at the end there. Guard just, like, reaches out, puts a hand up, locks himself in place. Isaac, you just fully are thrown and then land on your face.
Oh,
Oh, Isaac.
Yeah, I tried to warn you.
my heart's in my ass. I can't breathe.
Sphinx is gonna go and put his ear on Isaac's ass just to listen.
Sphinx, get away from me.
But June was doing okay. Sorry.
The smoke genasi moves forward, pulling back a gate, leading you to a set of massive doors, 10 feet tall, 20 feet wide, ornate. An intricate filigree marks the front of these doors. As the smoke genasi reaches out, forms a hand, grabs a handle, and pulls it open. And Reevesy says,
Go on. Gambald's in there.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Reevesy.
Thank you, bestie.
Yeah, no problem. I'll try to come back and see if I can find you guys to help me find the bootless man later.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
you all see the interior of the most lavish library you have ever seen. The bookshelves span 3 stories, 30 feet up. At each story, a little rail, a ladder. Some corners have little nooks climbing higher than you can comfortably see. The room is massive, easily 30 feet by 30 feet, and features a number of different little sitting areas, study areas. Some of those almost like magazine racks, if you've ever seen like those newspaper racks in libraries, but they're just for ancient maps and parchments and scrolls. Shelves of old rolled scrolls and decrees that sit free-floating in the room. Rocks that have notes etched into them. Objets d'art of all manner. Sculptures, masks, paintings. The room is perfumed with a gentle incense. Calming. Reassuring. You see a man standing over a desk at the far wall, clearly in the command position of this room. On the other side of the desk, at attention, is another man who is draped in just enough shadow that you can't quite make him out comfortably. The man at the desk stands to his full height of 9 feet. You see long, flowing robes and a strange shawl made out of rope. Strands of ropes, more than you could count in a lifetime, each with a knot or 2 or more. Some kind of counting system, just an adornment, you're not sure. But he turns and he looks at you. Little round glasses sliding down his long, hook, black beak. And this great crane of a man says, "Well, hello there. How might I be of service to you?"